Right, it's time for sports, and Gary Smith has joined me, but he has a political twist to the sports this evening. Good evening to you, Gary.
Is there anything else we can do? People won't even pay attention if we do anything else.
So it turns out that, well, we're just about wrapping up campaigning and everybody else is trying to push in something.
Yeah, so the political parties have made us understand that we should squeeze their sports there too for
into
them.
your sports. Yeah. Okay, you take it away, Gary.
We are choosing CPP today, just like that. MPP and NDC have had their day in court, as they say. So we are doing with the CPP. Welcome to the Sports on Prime. I'm Gary Smith. The Convention People's Party are reiterating their commitment to developing least finance sports in Ghana. Here's their man, Eval Greenstreet.
In our internal assessments and discussions, we were looking at the possibility of having an entirely separate autonomous body dealing with issues of soccer. Okay, and then other disciplines falling under the Ministry of Sports. We haven't come to a final determination on that
But
yet.
then in the sports bill, what it also seeks to do is to establish the National Sports Commission to provide for the development, promotion and management of amateur and professional sports, and also to provide for related matters. Now, let's say you pass this bill into law, and then you have the National Sports Commission. Yes, the National Sports Commission. You still want to have another body separately for the GFA?
It is this very National Sports Commission which is going to oversee the activities of all these various autonomous bodies that are governing these disciplines. Okay, so clearly what we want to try and see and do is how can we maximize the talent and the previous success of our soccer and our football, so that we can.
Right. In boxing, as you may know, Emmanuel Tego won the weekend on Sunday against his South African opposition Mzonke Fana, and that win was at the Bukum Boxing Arena. There was a huge crowd there, one of whom was the CEO of the Baby Jet Boxing Promotions, Asamoah Gyan, and here's his reaction to his fighter's latest win.
Honestly, we knew what he can do. Game Boy is a complete boxer. He goes with the flow. He wanted to stop him in the third round. But the first round he caught him. He wanted to end the fight in the third round. So he didn't want to stop in the first round. But the third round was so difficult. The guy stood up to it, and then he decided to punish him to the end of the fight. And then you saw what happened. If somebody takes a lot of punishment, I think sometimes the referee has to step in. But the guy looks good. He looked good to everybody, in front of everybody, and not knowing he was suffering. And in boxing, we don't want to see this kind of thing in a game. But it happens sometimes. But kudos to him. He has done well. He gave up a good show. Yeah, right now he's a world champion. We'll make sure we go for the IBA champion over there. We go to America to challenge him for the world title. He's gonna be the super champion, So we're gonna start negotiations from now, and then we see what happens.
What you may not know is that Mzonke Fana, the South African, he's 43 years, and after the bout, he was so tired. Game Boy had taken the mickey out of him, and he had to be taken to hospital, but he was fine and he was able to fly out. Speaking of hospitals, I have great news for you. You might recall that on the 2nd of October, an African football legend had a stroke in Cameroon, Rigobert Song, and we've not seen pictures of him, but this is the first official photo of him. He looks very, very thin and very slight, but he is alive, and there's a first photo of the legend as he is recovering in France. Great news and speedy recovery to him. Hopefully he gets better soon. That's the sport for now. More politics with Israel shortly.